Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 129 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills answers your table tennis questions. 129 is the sum of the first 10 prime numbers. And today we discuss Matthias's cat and its super balance. We talk about the Croatian Open, Brock's new rival, whether boxers and its players have the best reflexes, whether it's good to have a table in your garage, what type of spin is on Zhendong's reverse pendulum, and much, much more. I'm Jeff Plum, and with me, as always, is Super Coach Alois Rosario. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeff. And yes, interesting show coming up, and Brock's back. I like it.
He is. He's back in a big way. He's got a lot of questions for us. Now, we're a little bit late, Alois. I was just fussing around a bit trying to get the results of the Croatian Open into the Spinified system, and they're all up there now. Take a look, go to spinified.com/results, and you can see all the results from the Croatian Open. But if you don't want to look at the website, we're going to tell you a little bit about it. So, yeah, what happened at the Croatian Open, Alois?
Yeah, so some interesting results. Our favourite Mima Ito made it to the semi-final again, and she was actually up 3-1 in the semi-final against Hyoju Choi from Korea. So had a real chance to make another final, but Hyoju Choi ended up winning the semi and winning the final against Gianna Shan. So 4-1 pretty comfortably. Some interesting results early on, you know, a few upsets and things, but nothing really to write home about at the tournament. So it was good. It was good watching.
Choi seemed to, Alois. Choi seemed to have a great tournament, winning the under-21 girls singles as well.
Yeah, beating another Japanese girl in that final as well. So yes, so young player coming up, and obviously, I mean, you know, we talk young, but Mima Ito's 14, but not sure how old Choi is.
Born in 98 on the 15th of April.
So she's only what's that, 17 years old. So yeah, amazing, isn't it? Really amazing that the young players coming through these days. So some fun facts though from the women's singles, and looking on Spinified, that Mima Ito played 4 7-set matches and won 3 of them. Hyoju Choi played 3 7-setters and won 3 7-setters. So yeah, that was the real difference. You know, Mima Ito was actually up 3-1, and Choi won the 7th set in that one. So yes, and the biggest losing scores, well, so Mima Ito was 77 and Hina Hayata was 73. So Hayata actually winning 73 points, but losing her match 4-3 to Mima Ito.
There you go. That's as we always say, it's not who wins the most points in table tennis, but you know, who wins the most sets, and you know, often who wins the most critical points.
Yeah, and in the round of 16, in the round of 16, Mima Ito won 4-3 again against Nina Middleton, but won 4 less points. Still won the match.
There you go. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So and who ended up winning the men's?
Yeah. So it was the men's singles was Maharu Yoshimura, a right-handed, beautiful technique player from Japan, beat Ruiwu Tan, who's actually now from Croatia. But Ruiwu, nice left-hander. I was sort of going for him, you know. I like his style. He uses the punch serve a lot. He uses the punch serve and then just gets in and uses his forehand. Really nice, simple technique. But couldn't quite take the final.
There you go. Now I'm having a little bit of questions up, Alois. So can you see the questions from your side?
I can indeed. Well, the first up, we're going to have a bit of a discussion about Matthias's cat, Jeffrey.
We certainly were. You posted a little blog about Matthias's cat, and it's super balanced, didn't you?
Yeah, so Matthias Boos is a PingSkiller living in China. So unfortunately, I don't think you've been able to actually see the post because not too much Facebook gets through to China. But Matthias, when we were talking about scary things that scared us the other day, he said this is what really scared him the first time he saw it. So if you haven't seen it yet, get on there and have a look at the video of Matthias's cat. Like on the railing of a balcony, I don't know how many stories high in China, and the things that cat does, like just crazy cat. You may or may not know I'm not too good with heights, and even just sitting here in the safety of my my study and watching that cat, my fingers and feet were tingling.
Yeah, I was a bit the same, and I even showed my wife, and she was like, "What is that cat doing?" We'll put a link in the show notes. Check out the video; well worth watching.
Yes.
Yes.
And then,
all right. So should we move on to? Yep.
Yeah. So the last PingSkillers question of the day was, "Will you get a chance to play table tennis this weekend?" And that was before the weekend. And we did have a couple of responses, or not about that particularly, but and Niranjan said that usually he doesn't play table tennis on the weekends, and this weekend he had a nice rest. But bad thing was he had a bit of fever. So yes, I got a chance to play a little bit of table tennis on the Sunday. What about you, Jeff? Get any table tennis in?
Oh. I didn't play any myself, but we did have some guests around, and they did have a little bit of a hit on the table. So there was some table tennis played here, which was good to see.
They didn't want to challenge you, Jeff?
No, not today. They often do, but not on the weekend. Sorry, but they often do. But yeah, they just wanted to have a little game themselves.
Okay, it's nice, very good. And just in response to the last show as well, while we're at it, so Dieter, we were talking about the men and women and the comparative rankings of them. So Dieter has said there's still a big difference for reasons we're still trying to understand. He says that he believes it goes beyond physical strength, but like Serena Williams in tennis would lose 6-0 or 6-1 against a man in the top 250 in the world. And I think in table tennis, and he said, even though power doesn't play such a role, but he thinks that, I was closer to the mark, Jeffrey. He thinks that, maybe 350 or so, that the top women would be ranked about 350 in the world. But yeah, always an interesting debate. We need to find a way to set it up, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Let's match range, because that's what Dieter talked about. Serena Williams did actually play one of the men in the tennis and did lose, and she was surprised that she lost so badly in that in that match that was set up. That was a number of years ago. But yeah, we had quite a range of responses about that. Some people were saying 500 plus, and some were saying 50 plus. So, there was quite a variation in opinion. So, definitely an interesting topic.
Yeah, it is. It'd be nice to set it up. Yes. And how are you going with the questions there? You got them up yet, Jeff?
No, my internet's not working. All I've got is just a blank list of questions. It says questions and nothing there.
Nothing. I've got them all, Jeff. It's all right. So the PingSkillers question of today is, do you practice with a robot? So it would be good for our PingSkillers to get on there and just share your experiences if you have practiced with a robot, and tell us whether you do practice with a robot or not. It's interesting. yeah, quite a few years ago, I was completely against them, but sort of coming around. It'd be interesting to hear what the PingSkillers have to say about whether or not they practice with a robot and whether they think that it's useful.
Yes, indeed. So you can either go to our website, pingskills.com, click on the blog link, find this show, leave a comment, or I've just asked the same question on our Facebook page. You can go to facebook.com/pingskills and leave a comment on Facebook.
All right. So Brock has got back on here, Jeffrey. Brock's back, and he says, I have a new rival, another tall guy, but he's even bigger. He's about 6'8" and 350 pounds. Where do you find your friends, Brock? 350 pounds. And he says that he can bench press 600 pounds, squat 900 pounds, and deadlift 800 pounds. The trouble is that he's a great blocker, attacker, and crazy agile, which is annoying. Help.
Oh, dear. This just sounds like a new improved version of the last one, Alois.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you must hang around some good gyms, I reckon, Brock. Yeah, so Brock, again, tall person, think about the variation, think about playing into the middle, think about, if he's a good blocker, think about variation of spin and speed, and you've found tactics to beat that type of player. So now, if you can't beat this guy, it means that you just need to raise the level of what you're able to do. Still think the same things tactically, but raise the level. Be able to be more consistent, get more spin, more variations. Yep, you'll get there. You'll get there, Brock.
Exactly. It's all about practice. So, keep working and keep getting better.
Exactly. And he's also, I don't know about this. Brock's gone berserk. He's got about 4 or 5 comments on it. So he's said, how old are you? I guess 35 and 52. Well, no, Jeff isn't quite 52 yet, and you are correct. I am 35. Well done.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, I look pretty good for 52, don't
I? No, actually, unfortunately, he probably means me, 52, and you're pretty close to the mark. 51 very shortly. And Jeff, how old are you?
The big 40. I'm 40. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
That's me.
41.
It's probably
41.
It's probably the hair, Alois, that makes you look a year older.
Do you think? Do you think I should just grow my flowing locks back, Jeff?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, might have to do
it.
All right. And Brock's also said, who do you think's got the better reflexes, table tennis or boxers? What do you think,
Yeah,
Jeff?
I like this question, Alois, because we always talk about reflexes, and table tennis we've mentioned, and in fact we've just got a premium video we released only a couple of weeks ago talking about this exact question about reflexes, and not necessarily the people with the fastest reflexes are the quickest at returning the ball, because it's not all about reflexes. So it's more about your ability to watch what's happening and read the play. So if you're tracking the ball closely, picking up cues from your opponent, you might be able to tell just a fraction of a second earlier where they're going to hit the ball, and that will buy you extra time, and you'll just always be in position, and people will go, wow, you've got super reflexes. It's just that you're able to read the play so well because you've practiced playing table tennis over and over. And I suspect, Alois, I don't know a lot about boxing, that it's going to be similar to table tennis in that regard. So when a boxer throws a punch, you'll probably pick up some cues and know that he's about to throw that punch just a fraction of a second earlier and be able to react to it. So, this talk about reflexes, I don't know. And, yeah. I don't think it's all about the reflexes.
Yeah, that's right. So Matthew Syed has written a book called Bounce that both Jeff and I have read. And in that, he talks about an interesting point. So he talks about the fact that, Matthew was a very, very good defender, competitive at the top level in the world. And he said, he could go and he could return a lot of, the big loops and big fast top spins, and the ball traveling at 150, 160 k's an hour from a really short distance. But he said he went and he tried to return Michael Stick's serve. So some of you might remember Michael Stick, won Wimbledon, a German player. And he tried to return Michael Stick's serve, and he said he just had no chance at all. In fact, he wasn't even able to move in the right direction when Stick served. So he would have had more time than if he was facing a fast topspin from, one of the top players in the world and trying to defend it. But the fact that he had never seen this serve before meant that it wasn't about reflexes, it was about being able to pick up the cues and be able to recognize little tells that the server was giving him. So, yeah, as you said there, Jeff, not always about reflexes, is it?
Yeah, so I guess, if we had to answer Brock's question, it would say it depends on what sport they're playing. If, the table tennis player went to play the boxer in a boxing match, he'd get smashed in no time. But if the boxer went to play against a table tennis player, he would have no chance at returning their serves. So I think that's the best way to answer the question.
Yeah, indeed. So, yes. So it's an interesting question there, Brock. Thank you for that. And he's also got a couple more. We might just go through them quickly. So does deadlift and squat increase your balance? So any leg strengthening will help you with your balance, because strength is part of being able to balance yourself. And then, what is your favorite sport in your free time when not doing table tennis? And for me, I suppose tennis. I enjoy playing tennis. Yeah, what about you, Jeff?
Oh, that's a hard one for me because I like all types of sport. Yeah, I like tennis, like cricket, like basketball. Yeah, it's hard for me to pick one. Any sport, playing darts, if you consider that a sport, I like it all.
Yeah, I suppose, I just love walking. So if you call that a sport, more a recreation, right? Yeah. So that's me.
Yeah. I like some riding. I do a bit of running, but that's not my favourite. That's a bit of a chore.
Yes. All right. So we might move on to some other questions now. And Noel has asked us a question. I wanted I wanted to know if having a tennis table in my garage is all right. Now living in Texas, it gets to be 100 degrees to 120 degrees Fahrenheit in there. Is there a table that can take that stress, or should I just put it inside the house, although a little tight? So,
wow, yeah. Interesting question. Yeah, obviously having a table at home is great, but are there any tables, Alois, that sort of can withstand that heat?
Yeah, tables don't tend to have too many problems with heat. It depends on the table, of course. Most of the little bit better tables that have got a top that's going to be 20 mils thick, 19, 20 mils thick, are going to withstand that sort of heat. They're not going to buckle too much. If you get the really cheap table tennis tables with basically the plywood on there, or sorry, the really thin tops, they might struggle in the heat and they'll bow and things. But if you get a decent sort of table, they'll be fine in there. As to whether you will be fine in there, I'm not 100% sure, because playing in 100 to 120 degree heat is probably not such a great idea.
Now, we're in we're in the new Celsius. Do you call it new? We use Celsius here, so what's 120 Fahrenheit, Alois?
I don't know. I think 100 is about 40 degrees Celsius or around there, I think. So, yeah. So
let me just Google it. 120 Fahrenheit in Celsius is 48 degrees.
Yeah.
That is really, really, really hot.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be playing in there. That's my tip. Don't play if it's 48 degrees in that
Yeah,
shed.
100 is 120 is too hot because I don't think and 100 degrees Fahrenheit is 37 degrees Celsius. So the table might be all right, but yeah, that's getting pretty hot.
Yeah, too hot. Too hot. Don't do it. All right. And so Noel's also asked another question. So hello, Alois and Jeff. Sorry, I just need to select it. I'm not very good at this selecting questions bit, Jeff, but I'll get there. He says, I played twice this weekend. On Saturday, I played a couple of hours in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. Sunday, I went to this club for the first time. They were closing, but they let me play for an hour. Real nice guys. Excellent, Noel. Well done. So Noel got his table tennis in this weekend. And it's nice when you go to a club, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Great work going to a club. You know, as we always say here, that is the best thing you can do to improve your table tennis. Join a club. You just open up to so many new players, different styles, so many new competitions. It's really a great way, if you're serious about your table tennis, to get better. So well done, Noel. And as you saw, they were closing, but they still let you play. A lot of clubs are friendly like that. So yeah, if you're thinking about it and haven't been to a club, look up where the nearest one is and get down there as soon as you can. You'll love it.
Indeed, yeah. Good work. And so now on to a few of the other questions. So Ganesh has said, contacting the ball when it is at its highest position is difficult for me, but looping does not generate enough speed. I see some players bend to the level of the net to play such balls. So what should be the line of eyesight while top spinning? So here, Ganesh, I think, one real key is you do need to get down nice and low. I mean, some people, talk about trying to get your eyes down to the level of the net. I don't think it actually happens. I reckon if you're about 30 centimeters above the net height or around that, I think you're starting to do really well. So think about just trying to get down as low as you can. And make sure that your legs are in a good position. If your legs are in a good balanced position, then you're able to move and get into position and play some more attacking strokes. So if the ball's up too high, just let the ball come down to you and play the ball from that head height or shoulder height. But try not to hit the ball from up too high there. So so thanks, Ganesh, for that question. And then next question is from Morgan. So Morgan's said, how do you increase concentration and minimize mistakes?
Okay, Alois. I lost you for a little bit there, but I'm back. So let me have a stab at this one, and then you can tell me what you think. So with a lot of things, I think it's all about practice. And so I think improving concentration is a matter of trying to, concentrate longer in practice at first. So, really concentrating on the drills you're doing and, seeing if you can improve at that. And, at first you might not be able to concentrate very long. But if you focus on that, you'll get better and better at it, and then that will help you in your matches later on. What are your thoughts, Alois?
Yeah, totally agree, Jeff. And this is one thing that I'm always on with, especially with group training and training with players, is your concentration and the level of concentration during your training session is so important. Like some people think that they can just go to training and practice and they can just, do what you like at practice. But then when they go out in a match, they're going to really focus and concentrate hard. It just doesn't happen. You can't just switch it on. You do have to practice, as Jeff said. You have to, during your training session, you've got to practice focusing and concentrating. And we even talk about it during your warm-up for for your training, you know. So it's hard to just switch on, you know, once you start doing the drills. Your focus and your concentration has to start when you start your training session, in your warm-up, when you're going to the hall, those sort of things as well. So then the longer time you can keep that concentration and interest, then it's going to be easy once you get to a match situation to be able to maintain that concentration for a longer time.
Yeah, so how important, Alois, would you say concentration is compared to learning the strokes?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think, well, firstly, you have to have the ability to play your strokes to reach a higher level. But at the same time, you can't reach a higher level without having good concentration and good focus, and during practice and during your matches. So, you know, you just have to have both things. If you want to be a better player, you just have to have both things. You can't just have one or the other.
Yeah, interesting. And I think concentration is one of those things that you need to learn any sport or any, you know, maths or, you know, reading, or I think it's such an important skill for a lot of things. So, you know, improving your concentration in your table tennis training and matches is going to help you in a lot of areas in life as well. So definitely a skill worth improving.
Yeah, good point, Jeff. And I think that's one of the benefits of playing sport, isn't it? You know, you can improve those aspects of your development. Yeah, good one. All right, so let's move on now to Tam's question. So Tam said, "Hi, PingSkills. When Fan Zhendong serves his reverse serve, is it reverse side topspin or reverse side underspin?" So,
all right. Well, I'm going to say, Alois, that it really depends on what type of spin he wants to put on the ball. So Fan Zhendong's so good at this serve that he can come underneath it and get a bit of backspin, or he can come slightly up on it and get a bit of topspin. So it's pretty much always going to have some side spin because of the action. But then just based on where he hits the ball in his swing, he can vary between. And it's this variation that makes so effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And his reverse serve is so good. So he's got an interesting action. He sort of comes up to here, and then from there he either comes and he does the normal pendulum sometimes, but he does the reverse most of the time. So for the backspin, he comes down on the ball more. So he's coming down here this way. For the side spin, top spin, he's coming around that way, and even sometimes over the top a little bit. So it just depends on the angle of his racket after he comes to this position here. So he comes into here, and then that's when he changes to the backspin or the side spin, top spin serve. So yeah, really effective serve, and he does the reverse quite a lot. In fact, it's his main serve. So he's obviously very good at it. And as Jeff said, there is variation. He puts whatever spin he wants on it, and he's also got the ability to change it at the last minute. So he comes to here, and then he does whatever he wants from there. So yeah, it's a really effective serve. Get onto ITTV and catch some Fan Zhendong from the World Championships, and you'll see that serve in action, and you'll see what a great serve it is. And I know a lot of people struggle with the reverse serve. Get on there and just watch him for a match or two, and you'll start to pick up some good images of Fan Zhendong's reverse serve. He's got a beauty.
Indeed. And that's a good lead into the PingSkills Premium membership, Alois. So if you're a regular viewer of this podcast and you're listening to it on your iTunes and you don't want to hear this little spiel, just hit the fast forward 15 seconds about the Premium membership for 15 seconds. We've got a whole series on serving secrets where we do talk about lots of different serves, including the reverse pendulum serve. So we break down the serves and how to do them and how to practice them. So it's a really good course to improve your serve. And not only do we have courses on serving, in our premium membership, we've got courses on returning serve, on training. We've got a 52-week training plan. There's lots of Ask the Coach responses to help you improve your table tennis. To get better, check out our PingSkills premium membership at pingskills.com. That's my spiel. Back to you and the questions, Alois.
Well, Jeff, that's it for the questions. The questions are done.
There you go. I didn't know because I can't see the list. Technology.
Poor Jeff. He's all over the shop today because he can't see the questions. But, thanks, Jeff. That was a good little spiel. But it is important if you do want to keep going with your skills, look for ways that you can find out more information about table tennis.
Indeed. Well, thank you, everyone.
I'm not sure whether we lost him. I think we might have lost him. So thanks, everyone, for watching. And we'll be back tomorrow night with another show. Is that number 130? And while he's not here, can I just tell you, like, that stuff about those numbers, is that annoying you guys? Can you put some comments on the show so that Jeff doesn't carry on with those numbers? We're up to 130. Who knows what 130 is going to be? All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.
We will, and I'll tell you